The Project Brexit Departure Treaty stands at 585 pages length. It sets out how the UK foliage the Europe Association, planned for March 29, 2019. Chris Morris's analyses, the detailed information of transfer, aren't new, but they are no less than uncomfortable for how. At a period while by the government wants to blare how it is take behind monitoring, her motto, not pit, it will be seating monitoring for 21 months and really perhaps much longer. Down there will be no UK present in the Europe Parliament, at the top spreadsheet of the Europe Committee or in the Europe trial of judiciary. The UK will include no official say in manufacturing or changing EU rules and regulation, but it will include to pursue them to the email. The large benefit of transfer, of year, is how it buys more than period for business community and governments to get ready for a new mode, and it smooths the way out of the EU. Transfer as well gives the UK extended accessing to EU databases on key issues. Love safety time a next relation is agreed. Chris Morris's analyse, it seems a length period now with the amount of the divorce rate draft was the big question. How was never departure to be solved, but by the government knew how out of a finance community, advance on some issues would be unfeasible. Cash remnant a reason of debate, although, since lot Brexit supporters loathe the reality how big sums will be presented above out of any throw iron warranty on the environment of the UK's next trading relation in the EU. Any failure to pay in, on the some brush, would acid relations and could, in extremis, end up in trial. Chris Morris's analyse, the Europe Parliament has pledged to do countrymen rights its top precedence. But time political community on all sides are expressive countrymen how they wish them to remain. The Brexit trial has inflicted an huge sum of concern and ambiguity. UK countrymen in some EU countries, for example, yet don't aware if they will be capable to job through national borders in the next, since their order to live just applies to the particular nation wherever they dwell. Acceptance of vocational qualifications, and accessing to college formation on the identical regulation they include currently, are as well unsolved issues. Chris Morris's analyse, the solitary customs officer area is mainly else behalf for a interim customs officer association or, if it were necessary, it would provide how fully frictionless trading could go on through the Irish boundary. But it would as well hinder the UK performing any trading deals in some countries about the planet. How engage removal tariff on consumer goods. How upsets supporters of Brexit, particularly as down there is no guarantee path out of the supporting except the EU gives its agreement. The minutes on Ireland/Northern Ireland was the hardest portion of the project treaty to conduct negotiations or, now it has been published, it has caused a episode of by the government resignations. Chris Morris's analyse, fishery is ever a hot key question, although in largest countries the fishery segment forms a diminutive portion of the economics. Fishery has been leftward out of plans for a solitary customs officer area since several countries objected to the concept how UK minnow make would be permitted unhindered accessing to EU markets, out of any appropriate warranty how EU boats would be given accessing to UK fishery water. It's an sample of how talks on a interim customs officer association were connected to cast up a army of complications, and a reminder of how hard talks on a next trading treaty are potential to be. Chris Morris's analyse, largest of the project treaty deals in matters of EU Act, so the Europe trial of judiciary casts a length dark. The tribunal framework for allowing disputes creates a likeness of autonomy and ECJ rulings will no much longer include straight impact in the UK one-day transfer is above. How is an essential spot of concept for the UK by the government, but the Europe trial will go on to include consequential impact above the UK for lot year to go.